What's going on, everyone? This is Timothy. I'm your host for A Time in Refinement. This is the very first episode, episode 1. I started this channel because I felt the need to shed light on the disingenuousness of society, the masks, the facades we put on as people, and know that we all have a lot of the same struggles, especially as men. I don't speak for the women's perspective, obviously, because I'm not a woman. But just to shed light on our anxieties, our struggles, feeling lost, maybe a midlife crisis, kind of what I'm going through. I'm 28. I'll be 29 this year in just a few months. And I feel lost. I feel like I'm stuck in life. I've had a business for almost 3 years now, and it's doing really, really well, but it still feels like something's missing. Something is still missing. I'm a single guy, no relationship, never really had a relationship before, and I feel behind. I feel behind in life, and I'm sure a lot of you all do too. And what I'm hoping for in this channel is to just offer some sound advice that I may have, some connection, and just overall, realness, being genuine, not being fake. Because I think we have a lot of that on social media, YouTube, TikTok. Everybody's trying to run this race as fast as they can called life, trying to get as fast as they can to the finish line, making as much money as possible, sleeping with as many people as possible, having all these cars, living the hedonistic lifestyle. You're not going to be happy unless you make X amount of dollars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm a goal-oriented guy. I mean, I would consider myself pretty disciplined. I never really delved into any of the hedonistic lifestyles that people that I know have. No hate, but I knew that wasn't for me. I knew it wouldn't make me happy. It wouldn't make me content. And so I've stayed on this path of discipline and working out, build my business. It's definitely a lonely road for sure. And sometimes I feel like I'm running out of time, which is funny because I'm almost 29, but you could say only 29 or already 29. I guess it depends on how you look at it. And so I just thought that there needed to be a big light shed on just all the fakeness that we have. We took such a huge turn in such a short amount of time on clickbait and filters and all of these things that involve insecurity. We're all insecure up to a certain point. Some are more insecure than others, and we project that onto other people. And it's very sad because I know a lot of people that try to make friends that way, get into relationships, sleep with somebody, get a job, build their business, all of it, anything. And we're coming into a time, I believe, where people being real again and being genuine is going to hit like a tidal wave. I personally am tired of seeing all the perfect lifestyles of people and how their life seems so great and how their marriage seems so great and their kids and again all of their pleasures and cars and everything. And it gets super discouraging for sure. And so I think we need to band together as human beings and know that it's okay to struggle in life. It's okay to have insecurities, anxieties, ADDs, anything of that sort. There's videos and clips of people saying, "Oh, these are my superpowers, my ADD and my Asperger's and all of these things." And I think it's true to a point. I think you can use anything as as kind of a superpower to propel yourself into life. And really what it comes down to, in my opinion, is just enjoying life, doing what you love, not trying to chase anything that's not you, not trying to push or force anything, not trying to force love. I mean, that's such a big thing now, is trying to force love into relationships, and people just not being content with who they are, being present. And that's a big thing I struggle with, is being present. I have a hard time dealing with the past sometimes, on my mistakes, what I should have done, what I should have said, how I should have handled the situation, etc. And I also look to the future about this coming year. You know, we're in February now, and I'm thinking of all the things I need to get done, and the paperwork, and all these events that need lining up, and etc., and employees, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, sometimes I just really miss the point of being present and just being content with myself in the present moment. And that's definitely helped. There's been more quiet time at night, more reading, more meditation. And I definitely go to bed and I sleep better because I'm not thinking of all of these crazy things in my head. My brain is always spinning in bed, you know, and it's important for me to stay present. And so again, going back to the insecurities of society, of people, you know, don't be fooled by these people that profess this perfection on social media. The girls that look perfect, the men that look perfect, the cars, the lifestyle, the families that look perfect. Everybody struggles in one aspect or another. And if you think that some people don't have a hard time in life, you're sorely mistaken. Because if you talk to people one-on-one and you actually get to know them, we're very broken. We're very broken people. We're very sad and anxious and depressed and lonely, and go down the line with all of the different emotions and feelings. I consider myself a fairly confident dude in regards to everyday life, I suppose. I would say that I use that as a mask sometimes because I'm careful on who I associate with and who I allow in my life, especially emotionally. And I have a couple close friends that I have shared pretty much everything. But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't dare talk to anybody else about my insecurities, which is funny because here I am now. You know, we'll get into them eventually in future episodes. But I was talking to a young lady for a couple weeks, and she was just fantastic, just definitely wife material, what I was looking for. And she told me, she said, you seem very confident, you seem like you have your life together, and you exude a very good confidence. And I told her, I said, oh, that's funny because I struggle like everybody else. I kind of had an aha moment, like, man, do I really act super confident around people, and then when I get home I'm just like sad and scared and lonely? And the answer is yes. The answer is 100% yes. Because I think I overcompensate for, especially when I talk to a romantic interest, I overcompensate to seem confident because I want to be liked. It goes back to my people pleasing, my imposter syndrome. It goes back to wanting to be liked and wanting to be accepted. And so if I don't exude that confidence, I feel like that person won't accept me as a human being or as a love interest or, work client, something like that. So it was interesting to have that conversation with her because it kind of put into perspective for me how I live my life and how I act and operate. And it's what it comes down to for me is feeling comfortable in my own skin. And I don't think we are comfortable in our own skin. I think that we block a lot of joy out. We block a lot of quiet time out because we can't sit and have a conversation with ourselves. And I speak from this because I really have a hard time with having a conversation with myself and really just being quiet and just listening and not having my mind spin 24/7. And so it's just interesting because kind of having all of this insight the past couple of years has really put in perspective life for me and people, psychology, whatever you want to call it. It's put it in perspective for me because I used to be a pretty angry guy growing up, and I just realized, a year or two ago, I'm like, man, I was really just unhappy with my life because I would get so angry and resentful towards people, and I was just so unhappy with my identity and who I was as a man, and it was a good wake-up call. It was interesting. And so anyway, to wrap this up, I don't want to make these too long as time goes on, but I just want to let you guys know it's okay to struggle. It's okay to have insecurities. It's okay to not have it all together, because none of us do. And we need to be more real with each other versus casting judgment and pointing fingers and chastising, because I think we have a lot of that going on in society. And I'm not going to throw the hashtag love out, love everybody. I just think that's not as helpful as it could be. So what it comes down to is just, accepting who you are and just knowing that you aren't the only one that struggles, and life is good. Life is good. Getting around the right people, cutting out the toxicity in your life, and just being okay with being with yourself. So yeah,